This week on Story Behind the Story, Devin Albertson will be discussing men's basketball, and I had the chance to interview about Cool Cats reopening and the National Walkout Day protest, only on KNWT, Channel 8, and X106.
And of course, those 5 straight, Brett Doherty was actually redshirting in Justin Pisto that first year whenever they won it, and they were part of the teams that won it the 4 years afterwards on the active roster. And of course, going forward, last year they went 35-1, won the first national championship in Bearcat history for the basketball team, won the title the same year as the football team, first time ever in D2 history. This year, they started with Duke, and then it kind of went through the year, and the injury bug hit them hard. Just kind of talk about this season and what went on in their senior year.
You know, this season was, it was just weird what happened. I think a part of that was the national championship hangover that teams always have. Also, part of that was just they didn't really have that extra spark per se that they've had the past couple of years. And I think really what really kind of hit them, like you said, was that injury bug. Dealt with injuries a lot towards the end of the season, and they just combined with that lack of I don't want to say lack of a spark, but just they didn't have that same hunger that they had last year. They were hungry, but they weren't.
And you can see that because the 3 years previous, even going back to the Sean Coopers last year, they made it to the Sweet 16, and that was it. They lost to 2 of the eventual national champions with Augustana and Central Missouri. So they got to that final hunger. It's like, okay, this is our year. We're tired of being in Sweet 16, losing the regional championship game. They powered through that and won a national championship last year. As you said, that extra energy layer was last year. This year, especially late in the year after Pitts got hurt versus Nebraska Kearney, came back later, hurt his turf toe, and then all this stuff happened for the Central Regional Tournament. Then he missed the first game, and just only 50 points against Minnesota State Mankato was just too much to overcome for this team. But from what I could tell, there was a good crowd there on Saturday. Kind of talk about the fans' appreciation for the seniors when that game was coming to a close and everyone saw that Northwest was going to be eliminated.
Oh, I think it was a standing ovation, really. Like the last couple of minutes when the chances of Northwest, when Minnesota State was kind of just building up that league back up, Northwest had that chance in the past few minutes of the game to come back into that game, but then at the end, Minnesota State ran away with it. But I think the fans took the time to tribute those 4 seniors: Justin Picks, Brett Doherty, Xavier Kurth, and Chrissy Buendow.
And definitely, like, I've had a joy covering them over these past 4 years on the campus. They're some of the best. I tweeted this out after they lost. It's like they're some of the best group of guys you're ever going to meet. They're easy to interview. They're really approachable. So I really appreciate everything they brought to the university. Just being approachable, because we're part of student media. We don't have to be easily talked to and stuff like that, but they make their time to do it. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, they certainly do. And their openness with us has been really a part of what that culture has been with them.
And that's going to be it for sports. When we come back, we'll have Angela Luna, all the guests, talk about the National Walkout Day that occurred yesterday here on campus, Northwest Missouri State. You're watching Story Behind the Story.
Welcome back to Story Behind the Story. I'm your host, Angela Luna. We are broadcasting live here at the Student Union for Student Media Day, and I'm here with Chief Reporter Rachel Adamson. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Now, Rachel did a story about the National Walkout Day protest, and we actually had one here on campus. Now, can you tell us, what was it like actually covering a big national event like that?
It was kind of intimidating at first just because it was a national event and a lot of students were participating in it nationwide, but we just had to cover it. So
Good. Now, what type of content were you able to get with your story? Like, were you able to get lots of interviews from many students?
I talked to a lot of students that were at the protest, and there were a couple of university employees there, and everyone was very willing to share why they were out there today, and everyone just wanted to stand in solidarity with other people who were out there for the same reasons that they were.
Oh, good. Now, what do you think the atmosphere was like with everyone there? Was it pretty intense at all, or?
No, it was very peaceful. Everyone was just there just to kind of educate themselves, or just to have a moment of silence remembering the victims of the Parkland shooting.
Oh, good. Now, which students, or do you by chance have any people particular that you interviewed?
Yes, I interviewed Alyssa Lincoln, Katie Brown, Marissa Mallon, the girl who organized the event, and Matthew Baker.
Oh, good. Now, what were their responses typically about in the interviews? Were they you know, they just kind of talked about their opinions and.
Right. Well, 3 of the people that I talked to gave speeches at the protest, so they just talked about what the goal of their speech was and what they hoped everyone who came and listened took away from them.
Oh, good. Now, do you think more things like this could happen on campus at all, or could you see any other, by chance, events like this happening?
For the walkout day or just in general? There's actually like a couple of March for Lives that are going on, not on campus that I'm aware of, but I know a couple of people that I talked to are planning on participating in other events to raise awareness about gun control, but they didn't mention anything about doing that on campus.
Oh, good. Now, do you by chance think there'll be any follow-up stories based off of this? Could be a new chance to maybe even have more stories in the Missourian?
I don't think so, unless something else were to arise.
Okay. Now, was it difficult by chance being there as a reporter? Was it? Did you have any intense moments or anything like that?
It wasn't very difficult to be there. I was also taking pictures at the event, so I was just taking.
Yeah, just lots of good content and everything. Well, I'm glad you were able to get it covered. I know that's a big event, and I want to thank you so much for coming on our show today.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about Cool Cats reopening. Doing pretty good. It's nice out. It's beautiful. And spring break is almost here.
Oh, thankfully.
Right, we could definitely all use a break. Now, Sarah's story is about Cool Cats is reopening. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited. Now, can you tell us a little bit about that story?
It's just about Cool Cats opening and all the new renovations that they have. And they've also brought in like new menu items too. Like they're going to try to bring coffee in. And with the new additions that they have, they actually want to be able to stay open year round. So that's another like new thing so they're basically presenting a whole new Cool Cats. It's not just like a renovation. It's a lot like they want to be like the best for the community, so they thought that being open and being available like all year round was going to be like the best step towards being more present in the community.
Oh, good. Now, are they taking even more steps to promote that by chance?
Well, obviously they reached out to us to run a story about it, and we had heard about it anyway, so we were kind of planning on doing it. Like they're actually opening March 29th, and I know on Facebook they've been looking for people to like help promote. So like they'll put stuff on Facebook and then be like, "Are you guys excited?" And then like the last post that they had was them talking about like being like, "Oh, we're opening the 29th. What's the thing that you've missed the most about Cool Cats?" And so they're very interactive on social media. They also have a Twitter, which I didn't get to look at, but they have a Twitter that they want people to follow as well.
Absolutely. Now, do you think they'll do any promotions by chance here on campus? Maybe do some coupons or anything like that?
I think that'd be awesome if they did.
Right?
I've actually never been to Cool Cats, so it'd be hard for me to like say anything about like their promotions. Actually, it was interesting because she was like, I think the biggest thing that she was trying to do was just to get the word out before the 29th, and obviously they did with the newspaper. And I think for the most part, I think the university paper was like where they were really trying to target and like they didn't have to pay for an ad, so
yeah. Was it nice having to have a story come out to you instead of reaching out and finding another story?
Yeah, actually it was. I mean, I get most of my like story ideas from or things that we have to cover from my editor, and he's just like, do you want to take this on? And I was like, we're pretty much like, yeah, sure, like we're fine, like because Michael's super cool. When I actually had to do Cool Cats, part of like the hard thing was that she said the owner was like totally cool with getting an interview with me. It was hard getting to her though because she was really busy. Obviously with trying to get like started for the reopening, it was really hard for them to like actually get back to me in a like fast response. I actually had to get to her through Messenger, and that came like Sunday night, and my due date's like on Monday, so I was like, oh, okay, this is okay. And so like reaching out to her was a little bit hard, and then I actually had to find a customer that was okay with like talking to me about eating at Cool Cats, and I wanted someone that obviously like felt like, you know, really loved Cool Cats. So I actually went to Facebook and I used that to help me find like some of my friends that actually like have liked the page. So like Facebook is a great way to like find and reach out to people more too.
Yeah, and how do you when it comes to getting interviews for stories, or even, you know, just for the Cool Cat story, how using social media really does make an impact and helps enhance the story. Have you done that in previous stories?
So I'm part of Sigma Society, and they actually like, if I'm ever struggling to find someone, like usually I'll like post on our page that we have set up for all the members, and I'm just like, hey guys, can you like help me out real fast? Like, I know this is last minute, but would you mind, like, for grocery bingo I had to do the same thing. It's really hard to find people when the event hasn't happened. So like, because the opening March 29th, it's, you know, I can't go there and be like, oh, you know, like, why do you enjoy coming to Cool Cats, you know? But for this, it's like I have to use my other resources. Social media obviously is the easiest way to do it. Reaching out to a wide range of customers and like a variety of audience people, members, whatever. Definitely it makes it like a lot easier.
So yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, and I'm excited about Cool Cats opening, and hopefully you are too. Well, thank you for staying tuned and listening today. Tune in next week. We'll be back here at the Student Union for Student Media Day, only on Story Behind the Story.